Bill, Black Dave. Let's see. You have to type 5?
No. No, I was like, I can write jokes, but I think I'll do what I would normally do. So I got something for you. It's not that.
I've got something. I got something for you. Yeah, it was funny. I was realizing, like, I would say things and people would laugh, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Last week's episode, we were very funny.
Yeah.
Like one of the funniest episodes.
We get on a roll, and when we're when we're cruising, it's hard to deal with. Where is this fucking Filipino? He's on island time, man.
All gas, no brakes. No brakes, Jakes.
No brake, Jake. No Jake brakes on this snake
like,
brake.
Hey! And you'll be like, oh, I forgot.
Oh, what day is it? Oh. So, yeah, got the old basketball game there tomorrow.
Yeah, I asked Riv's mom. I was like, does Riv have a half day tomorrow? She's like, no, school. And I was like, oh, so I could have had her today.
Yeah, the kids also have no school. I'm annoyed with my company again.
Uh-oh.
Because I was like, hey, what days? Because
days without Jake being annoyed.
Zero. Yeah, I looked it up and I was like, hey, what days do we get off for Thanksgiving? Because it's been a little unclear. And they only give us Thanksgiving.
So you'll be taking Friday.
Yeah, I'm not going to be there Friday.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
but
that seems egregious.
Yeah.
Who does that? Now that you say it, I can't remember a place. Well, no, I take that back.
With the exception of working at like
retail
or retail.
No, the mills are like
even a mill would shut down for a Friday.
They used to shut down the whole mill for a week so that they could do maintenance. So like the millwrights, they're working, and guys that volunteer for overtime.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they were like, nah, take the week. Nobody wants to work this week.
And it's like they're doing service orders.
I'm switching my headphones.
Yeah, they're doing.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I can still hear you, kind of.
Yeah, they're doing service orders like the week of Thanksgiving. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, when I signed on for this gig, they told me that occasionally there might be a Saturday where guys would have to come and get work orders. So far, it's been every Saturday that there's been, like, this is gonna be the first Saturday where there hasn't been someone coming in to get a work order.
Why?
And like, because the company fucking sucks at time management.
Well, that's fair. So
yeah.
I typed hey to Dave, and he goes, we recording tonight? Typed it 5 LOL. And I was like, God damn it. And I was like, yes. He's like, all right, give me 5.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch does it all the time.
He's hammered, man.
It's fucking smash, man.
It's fucking smash, man.
That's awesome.
So we're probably gonna end up making chili again.
Okay.
We ate it. We ended up eating it Saturday night, and it's really fucking good. So I encouraged him. I said, you should make this again. So we'll have that probably. Though that would, or we could do something different
Well, so here's the ideas that I tossed out there to Rebecca. I was like, I was thinking like just getting a pizza, and then I was like, or I could do ribs because I fucking love ribs.
Fucking love ribs, but ribs get expensive.
Whatever. Ribs cost what they cost. So, and let me find it real fast. She said, if you decide on pizza, we will bring sub sandwiches and chips. If you decide on ribs, we can do potato salad and baked beans. Let me know. I should be like, what if they decide to do chili because they didn't do chili last time?
But what could we do that what's the word I'm looking for? Compliments. There it is. Those things. Where's my? There it is.
Well, pizza. I mean, like you can just
Pizza.
bring more pizza.
More pizza.
That's the easiest.
Grab some. There's Lynn Carter.
Hey.
Hi.
I mean, ribs. We could do watermelon.
Bring a whole ass watermelon.
Corn on the cob.
Corn might be hard to.
Maybe some chitlins.
No.
No.
There's
one. Okay.
I draw the line
across the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chitlins.
Some grape drink.
Yeah. I mean, chitlins is a little too country for even me. That one video that cracked me up is when the guy's like, if you call thermal underwear long johns, you country as hell. I was like, oh my God,
damn it.
Exactly. I was like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Try to hide it, but the Allman Brothers keep pulling me back.
Oregon is like a transplanted southern state.
Oregon's the South.
Like
people don't realize it. Oregon is the South.
Oregon is the South without the accent.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like we love our fucking southern food. I mean, we're not Creole,
if you get outside the valley, you might get the accent.
You do. There was a kid, and Dave will back me up, that he went.
Speaking of Dave,
hey,
there's old Dave.
We coached him in 7th grade. That's the blood moon. Oh. We coached. So I'm telling about Dakota.
Okay.
We coached him in 7th grade. Normal. Comes back 8th grade. He'd watched Varsity Blues enough that he had an accent.
I don't.
We're like, wait, Dakota, where the fuck that come from? He's like,
don't want your life.
Listen, bitches are all panty droppers. God damn it, you're 8th grade. Knock it off.
What you mean, couch?
Dude, I had when I realized I didn't want to coach this kid's team, like the second year that Nolan was playing.
Yeah.
And like it was before the epiphany that Jen gave me when she was. I was like, man, these kids aren't the ones I would want to coach. He's like, well, you didn't pick them. I was like, oh,
that's fair.
Really? I was like, yeah, you're right. I wouldn't have picked these kids because like.
Just like my ex's kids.
Yeah, and what but when you're drafting, you draft a lot based on personality, not necessarily you pick the right.
You don't
kids,
always
not
pick
the best
skill.
Kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And this team definitely picked some kids that they got because they were good, not because they were good kids. And there was one point where the kid hit a single and then came around to score on like 11 errors on the play. And then he runs into the dugout and starts singing, oh God, what's that Drake song? Back in high school. No, back in high school, she used to take me to the dance.
Now
she's in love with who I am.
My pants.
No, hang on. It's the one where the song is about Drake fucking Kim Kardashian.
Sicko mode.
Yeah, sicko mode. Yeah, so he starts singing Travis Scott's Sicko Mode, like screaming it at the top of his lungs. I'm like, hey, 9-year-old, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
and that's why I was like, this team isn't for me, man. Like, I can't. How do I reach these kids?
Close fist, arm length.
It's like these, and then Jen with the fucking wisdom. No, you wouldn't have picked these kids. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
You see right through me. You see right through to the heart of me.
Okay. I'm going to say the list of things I just wrote down that we could talk about. Jake's Disneyland trip.
Yeah. That's on there.
Jake's adventures in getting to tailgating.
Yeah.
What happened while Jake wasn't there at tailgating? Dave's Knife Part 2.
Dave's
Electric
Knife
Boogaloo
Part 2. Dave doesn't even remember.
He doesn't know. He has no idea.
It
was
no
so
idea.
good. It was so good. I'll tell you.
So money. So money you don't even know it.
Loki, because Loki, the finale is out now.
Feel free to talk about it because I haven't seen enough of it. By the time I get to see it, I haven't watched it.
I intentionally didn't watch it because I was like, I don't want to watch it and then be the only one and then be too hyped about it.
I started catching up on Gemstones.
Oh, that's a good show. Man, I love it.
I started this new show that's called The Rig.
Uh-huh.
And they're all Scottish except for one chick. Well, they're European. Most of them are Scottish. But it's an oil rig offside about 150 miles off the coast of Scotland. And then like they lose power, they lose communications, and then all of a sudden this fog comes in, and I'm like, oh, it's the mist.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, yep. And it's very much the Misty. Kind of like there's a fog coming in, and then some weird stuff starts to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is right up my alley. This is kind of cool. But like the other day, I also started watching Penny Dreadful.
I've heard that's really good.
I really nerd out because every episode I'm like, that's an old like Monster Mash horror kind of like lore thing. Like there's Frankenstein, but they rewrite it so that it can fit all together for a show. Yeah. Like there's Frankenstein and werewolf and vampire. It's like
it's Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein was the doctor. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but Frankenstein.
That's some half yard line bullshit.
Right. I was gonna say.
Yeah. You know what I meant.
Yeah, but I know what you said.
Yeah, but what'd I say?
What did I say?
The wrong thing.
I'm pretty sure I said Frankenstein.
I've heard it either way.
Because he's in it too. They're all in it. All right.
Yeah, in it to win it.
And it's Josh Hartnett. It was like one of the first things I saw. I watched it years ago. But Josh Hartnett, and I was like, I haven't seen this dude in something in forever, and he's pretty cool.
Nice. I could also talk about Riv being a fucking captain for the basketball game.
That
was cool.
I think I took screenshots of things to talk about.
I sent in the chat for this. I sent 2 TikToks we should watch, and they will give us things to discuss.
In the
on the Skype chat.
Oh.
I don't know how to get to it now that we're recording.
You see a little button that says chat?
Oh yeah. Well, you gotta share it, or Dave can. My Mac doesn't like sharing it.
This old chestnut.
Jalen Rose.
Yeah, Jalen Rose is wrong.
Oh, one of the things I screenshot. It's not a long conversation, but I thought it was funny. It was a article that says frequent phone use may have an impact on semen quality. I'm like, yeah, because I'm using my phone to watch porn. Duh.
Yeah, it's like
I could have told you that.
It's one of those things that they don't bother to tell you when you're like, are you a man in your mid-30s? Are you experiencing low testosterone? No, you're not. You masturbate too much. Nope. Like, just a little bit less, you'll be fine.
In fact, if I open up my browser right now, no.
I was thinking, like, my brain went, well, we always have our cell phones near our balls because that's where our pockets are. So maybe that has something to do with things.
Maybe they swim sideways and shit.
Yeah, that's why Aaron Rodgers won't use AirPods. He's like, I use the wired headphones. Okay, Aaron.
Yeah,
whatever.
Aaron Rod. If only he had something for his Achilles that would have kept him safe.
Louisville just tied vagina.
He didn't have the right stones up his butthole.
Oh.
Achilles protection.
Wrong crystals that week.
Yeah, wrong crystals.
I was gonna pull that up on my Fizzone.
What?
Man, if Louisville struggles with Virginia.
Well, they were up 14-0, and then they had a punt blocked, and then I think they threw a pick six within like 10 seconds, and then somehow Virginia got the ball again, and that was when that play I sent on Snapchat happened, where the dude got fucking clapped and fumbled the ball, but his teammate was right there in full stride, picked it up and scored.
That guy was super open.
Yeah,
he was like standing there waiting for a punt.
Oh man,
I'm watching the Bears-Panthers game right now.
The Bears. Do you have money on it? Because that's why Bales is watching.
No. It was Thursday Night Football, and let's put it on.
I was looking for a Pac-12 game on Thursday because usually they do that shit this time of year, but no, they're all on Saturday.
I don't think they are. I think that people bitched about it. They're like, yeah, we should just not do that because nobody watches.
Nobody watches and nobody goes.
Yeah. That's one of the things about West Coast football is people live far from their games. And that's like, if you look at how dense the fucking map is with colleges on the East Coast, no wonder there's like all the East Coast bias. There's so many, and you get out here and there's like 2
11
per state, except for California because they have twice the area.
Well, and even still, it's like you get places like Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where all they have is Alabama College.
Right.
It's similar to Eugene, but those people don't leave Tuscaloosa. They stay there.
Right.
The townies who are from the area stay in the area, whereas people who graduate from the U of O typically go someplace else. It's why I got like so annoyed. I know I've told this story before, but here we go again for the archive. I was at the this luncheon at Lebanon, like the City of Commerce Lebanon luncheon, whatever. Or maybe it was a dinner, who cares? And they were telling this story about this guy who was the businessman of the year, and they're like, a local boy who grew up in Lebanon, and then he got a scholarship to Oregon State and became a beeve, and then he put his business right here in Lebanon. And I'm like, man, you just told me a story about a guy who's never left the Mid Valley. That sounds depressing as hell.
Yep.
It was like he went from one side of the highway to the other side of the highway and came all the way back.
It's like Men in Tights.
Yeah, my goodness.
I'm on one side of the highway. I'm on the other side of the highway.
Now there's a
I'm on the West Coast.
I'm on the East Coast.
I'm on the East
Coast.
East Bank. East Bank.
Oh man, early Chappelle, young man, back before he knew what was coming.
Yeah.
Before
back when the only thing that was coming was him.
Have you heard him explain what happened with the whole the ending of his show and how it happened?
I've heard Cat Williams explain it.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Well, I heard Cat Williams say basically that, like, if you do this, he's like, I'm the funniest man in the world. I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna do it. It's like, if you do that, by the time you get off the plane, all of your fans will believe you're a crazy crackhead. I wonder if I can find that. What did you hear?
Dave's explanation was similar, but not so crackheady. He said something about how did he explain it? Basically the network concocted this whole thing because Dave was like, "Hey, I'm not doing this show the way you guys are trying to pay me. And I'm just not going to be there." And he had a trip planned, I guess. And he was just like, "Fuck it, I'm going. I wasn't going to go, but now that you guys are being dicks, I'm out." And then
hang on. I found it. I'm just gonna hold up. We'll have to censor it for the old YouTube fucking bots.
Can you just share the audio?
I might be able to.
Because then we won't get in trouble because they don't care about audio, only video. Look at me, man.
Can you hear this? You hear that?
Is there sound? Because I hear nothing.
All right, hang on. Let's see. Share screen. Share computer. Oh, what if I share computer sound? Let's keep the desktop. What I'll do is I'll go boom.
Everybody passed on him and
boom.
said his show.
There you go.
Right. What do you think of then when he made $500 million, they said even though his contract said he should get half of it, they said he made too much for the contract to be valid. So we're
all right.
Look, okay. First I went on Facebook. Dave Chappelle was decapitated in front of us. They called him Pilot Boy because he had 19 pilots in Hollywood and everybody passed on him and said his show wasn't worth it. Then when he made $500 million, they said even though his contract said he should get half of it, they said he made too much for the contract to be valid, so we'll offer you 10% of what you made. You mean he made $500 million and they offered him 50? Yes. And he said, what do you think my fans are gonna say when they find out you offered me 10% of what I made you? And they said, your fans will believe that you're a crazy crackhead by the time you get home. He got on the flight in LA, and by the time he got to Ohio,
similar.
It was so. Dave Chappelle was decapitated in front of us. They called him Pilot Boy.
Decapitated.
Decrapitated.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
I hate how people do that. Just edit better.
Just be better at what you're doing and stop trying. We do it for substance. You do it for clicks.
Yeah.
Man, we're gonna kick the ever-loving dog shit out of USC.
I've been trying not to say it. Every time I feel like we're gonna do something like that against a team that has some sort of potential, I'm always
talented.
Yeah, I don't want to say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Here's the thing, right? I'm gonna even say that.
Yeah, I heard it.
This team would have lost to Utah. Right?
Yeah,
in years past, this team would have lost to Utah. This team would have lost to Cal. Because that opening quarter, instead of Oregon being up 14-13 after one, it would have been like 21-6 Cal. And Oregon would have been like, oh, well, we're going to still try to run the ball. And we can't now because, I don't know. And yeah, we would have lost that game against Cal. So we would have been sitting on 3 losses right now, wondering what the fuck happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I mean, basically what's happening to Miami right now.
Yeah. Our team is finally kind of back where we were when we had Chip as a coach. I feel like we're not as explosive, we're not as deadly, but we are fucking committed.
I don't know you can focus. I don't know that you can say we're not as deadly or when we're the highest scoring offense in the NCAA.
Yeah, but we were the highest scoring by like 10 points before. Now we're like, yeah, we're the highest scoring, but that 81 helps.
That's fair.
I think we've got a much more dangerous defense.
Oh my God, our defense.
And like what we've lost in that 10-point leading the NCAA in scoring, we've gained in defensive stops.
If this team were to line up against a 2013 national championship national runner-up, it would be one of those like 55-31 wins for the current team, because they would give up 30 points to Mariota and that offense, but that offense would not, that defense would not stop the run game. Like Bucky Irving would run all fucking day on the 2013 Ducks.
I think our the 2013 team would also have a hard time running a lot.
Yeah,
because their run was predicated on the option.
That's true.
And we have some smart and disciplined players now.
Especially now that Justin Jacobs has actually gotten on the field, the transfer from Iowa. Dude, that kid is a stud.
He's showing up, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's big time. Jamal Hill's been playing big time.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Williams hits harder than anyone I've seen in a while.
I'm gonna have to figure out where to park.
Why?
Because I work till 5 on Saturday.
Boo, Dave.
Yeah. Wait, so I'm driving up with Riv by myself because my dad's not going because nobody will hang out with my mom. And she fucking last week when we went, she didn't eat until we got home.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like some old people protest shit?
No, it's just she doesn't fucking she's not there like she should be. Like early dementia type shit. And Grayson is no help. Like you ask him or tell him to do something, he goes, "Huh? What?
Huh?
What? You want me to do what?" Like
and Skylar's probably at work, huh?
Skylar's got to work, Heidi's got to work.
Yeah.
I've asked a bunch of people. Everybody's I got this.
I gotta shave my mom's
back.
back.
I got a kid to hang out with. Can't do that at your house, which is fair, because yeah,
fair. It's fair.
Fair.
So
well,
yeah.
So well,
yeah.
Because... I was gonna say it's weird, man. Like the last couple games, your dad's been like damn near friendly.
Like,
yeah. I don't know if I just crossed the bridge or something, but like I showed up at the game at Cal and he's like, "Hey, you made it. Yeah, all right." And he like gave me a high five and like gave me Dave's beer and like
because Dave needed him another one.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like he actually seemed like he was genuinely happy to see me. I was like, where did this guy come from? And and like the week before that, he was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was like, I'm well. Is this a trap of some sort? Is this some sort of like? He's like, "Do you want me to say I'm well so you can complain about not being well?" Is that what? Is that what I'm hearing?
I can see that. Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah. In any event, he's been enjoyable to be around, as opposed to like the first couple games where he was a Duke.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, let's go to Jed's because he won't be there.
Yeah. He's. I don't know what it is.
Maybe he's appreciating the rarity of what's happening right now.
Could be. I was thinking of the fact that he was getting a break from being here and always like because now that my mom she doesn't do anything. Like I told her she needed to go get this document notarized and she's like, "So I have to get dressed?" I'm like,
yes.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
So, I don't know.
I had another example of something. Oh, we were the field goal block that got run back, that got called back.
Yeah.
Like he and I were just talking. He's like, I'm like, I've never seen anything like that. He's like, I've never seen anything like that either. That was amazing. I'm like, all right.
Maybe he's smoking weed at the games when we're not looking.
That could be it too. And then like I jumped in the picture, looking like a fucking idiot behind him on purpose with the cheerleaders, and like I ruined the picture. And like he looked at it, he just kind of laughed. Where before he would have been like, "You son of a."
He's like Vince McMahon over there.
You son of a bitch.
Ah, yeah. All right, man.
I think I have an idea.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, do ya?
For the parking.
Oh, Doja. All right, man.
Hey.
Are you ready for a good ass show?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Who? All right, here we are. We're back again. It's another edition. It's another episode of my show. And Dave, he's here. He's got things behind him. It looks like balloons. It looks like a typhoon.
Don't call me a Typhoon Dave for nothing.
They don't. They sure don't. It's Dave.
I decided I would take a note from Jake's book. I'm sitting on the couch today.
Sitting on the couch?
Well, mostly because I was playing games on my laptop, watching football, sitting on the couch, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna move.
Yeah, I told you about when I did orientation for this job I have. Like I was sitting here with this setup, and they referred to me as guy on the couch. For like I ended up meeting the guys that I was in orientation with, digital orientation, because they're working out of Portland, and like, oh hey, you were the guy on the couch the whole time. I was like, yep, that's me, old guy on the couch. Like you guys are somewhere, and I was sitting at home just chilling on my sofa.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got two guys on a couch and one on a bed.
No, he's in a chair, dude.
Are you in a chair?
I'm in a chair, man.
He's in a chair, man.
My eyes don't work so good as that old Bill Shakespeare.
He's the old chair.
It's not. It's not Bill Shakespeare. It's Robin.
Hey, goddamn right it is. This is a Sparta chair. It's not. I was just trying to do because it's episode 300. 300. This is Sparta. And bringing it back around, the one and only guy doing 3-point fingers on his hand. It's just a 3-0, maybe a 0-3. Nobody knows. It's the hoop snake. And it's Jake.
Gets the people going.
You see, here's the 3. This is a 0. This is also a 0. For those for those watching on YouTube, watching the video version of this podcast, you can see my silly finger play. And that's no euphemism.
Silly
folks.
Finger Play is the name of the episode.
3 minutes in, and we've named episode 300. That gives you a good idea of what sort of hijinks we've got. Hey, raise your hand if you've got a type 5.
I got a tight butthole. Does that count?
Dave, do you got jokes?
I forgot. I'm not gonna lie.
I forgot. I only was reminded 40 times.
I got something.
Twice, 3 times.
I thought you said you had something last week.
I started typing something on my phone at the tailgate. And then I went back and read it, and it makes no sense.
That reminds me of Ben called me up like late one night. I think he was high, and he's like, "Hey, I have an idea for something." I'm like, "Okay, well, what's your idea, man?" And he starts telling me, and I'm like, "Okay, well, why?" And he's like, and he keeps repeating the story over and over, and I'm like, "Okay, but why though?" And he's like, "Okay, I'll write it down and I'll send it to you." And he's like, I wrote it down and then I read it and I realized it sounded dumb and I didn't send it to you. That's half of writing, is realizing that everything is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what you come up with, it's dumb.
Yeah.
Like that Lego song, except for stupid.
Everything is awesome.
Nobody writes anything original. Everything has been done.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's a copy of a copy of a copy.
So, speaking of tailgating, can we talk about this last weekend?
You guys can, as far as tailgating goes.
Oh, it's all interconnected. So I get a text at 5:34 a.m.
Well, let's back it up. I feel like we should do this story chronologically.
From the start, why this happened this
way?
Okay.
Why this happened this way.
Everything is happening
in a specific order.
In a very specific order.
and we're gonna have to chalk this L that I took up to hubris as just what we're doing. So Gen 1, trip for 4 to Disneyland, all expenses paid. Like,
oh shit, I didn't know that part.
Yeah, like we stayed on the property at the Disneyland resort, which meant that we got to go in an hour earlier than everybody else did, or at least a half hour earlier, way earlier than everybody else, which means we got to ride some rides and get in line for some shit that, other people couldn't get in line for. But yeah, so you go in and we rope drop a few rides, and it was a great time. Rise of Resistance was awesome. Yeah, I don't want to tell too much about it because some of it's in my bit. It's in my my story. But did the Spider-Man thing a couple times. That was really cool. It was interactive. You put these goggles on, and then you had to like shoot web to stop all these robo spiders that were taking over the city. And so you had to save the day on this flipping around ride. The Incredicoaster was fun as shit. It had a big old loop-de-loop in it and a few drops. But yeah, so we won, had a great time, great food. So we get back Friday night and we land at about 8:30 p.m. Now normally, as is this week, I'm going to be hitting the road this morning, or tomorrow morning. I have a truck to unload, unfortunately, here in Seattle at like 8 o'clock, so I'm not going to leave until after that. But then I'm going to go down work in Portland for the afternoon and then head home. So for anybody who's listening to the audio podcast, that's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The devil's in the details, as they say. So I'm not able to do that because I flew into Disneyland, but I say with all the might of duck fandom that I can muster, I'm going to this game on Saturday. And I almost get laughed at. Like, you really think you're going to go to this game? I'm like, you don't understand. After 3 days in Disneyland, I might need a vacation from you guys. It's like, that's totally fair. And so 2:30 in the morning on Saturday, I wake up.
Not a soul in sight.
Not a soul in sight. Rain against the weather.
That city was looking like a
kept
ghost town.
him out all night.
And the thunder rolls. That's three guys doing guitars with their mouth.
It's we're the fucking country guitar trio over here.
Tell me I don't know Garth Brooks.
The suburban rolls. So
till it stops.
Till it didn't. So I am flying down the highway. I stop and get gas. I'm ahead of schedule. I've got my coffee. Coffee's tasting good. The tunes are tuning just right. DJ Press Play is doing his thing.
Too perfect.
Like, it's all cruising along. And then I know, like, one of the peculiarities of the Suburban is that I only have one speed of windshield wiper, and that's maximum speed. Boop, 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 boop,
maximum effort every time.
So yeah, it's like Rudy.
You should call the windshield wipers Deadpool.
Maximum effort.
So, if it's not raining very hard, I'll just like flick it once, and so it'll be like whop whop, and then I'll
wait, what's it like?
whop whop. With the macaroni in the pot. So
how are the schools?
Yeah, the roofs the ceilings are brand new. The schools are fantastic. There's some whores in this house. So I start notice that the windshield wipers are going more slowly than they should.
More like whop whop.
Yeah, exactly. More the wah. It's more like a freaky
the H is more enunciated.
Yeah. Wahop, wahop.
No, you gotta get the whop in there.
That's a whop. Well, macaroni in a bowl.
Oh my gosh.
So I realize that this is bad. This is really bad.
It's not good.
Because as I'm pushing down on the gas, the thing that makes you go that way is not making it go that way anymore. And the radio that normally was tuning and playing the music,
radioing, yeah,
is not. It's off, and it's on. And it's off again. And I'm like, huh, that's also bad. I'm not remotely near an exit, really, so I'm kind of hobbling and limping my way down the road. I throw the emergency
You're doing the
flag.
physical. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes. You know the body
old,
English.
Yeah.
Like, come on. If I lean forward, I will help the forward velocity of this vehicle.
They called that the old driver's seat hip thrust.
The old driver's seat hip thrust. But yeah, so I pull off at Multnomah Boulevard southbound there at 5:30 in the morning, and I know that there's a possibility, considering we've got a 7 o'clock tailgate start, that Robin's probably awake.
Well, I wasn't quite awake. I was about to be.
But I have one of those moments where the car comes to a stop and it's dead silent. And because I'm 15 minutes ahead of schedule. Like, I am kicking ass on this drive so far. It has been so smooth. And there's a moment where the car comes to a dead stop, nothing's working. I just go, no one I know is awake right now. Like, no one I know is awake, and no one I am at the point of no return for both sets of human resources that I have.
Yeah.
Like I have people who care about me in Seattle. I have people who care about me in the Mid Valley. Right in the middle is Portland, where nobody cares about me.
Yeah.
And that's right where I was. And so I realize I've really got to pee because I've been drinking this delicious coffee the whole time. But also because I left in a fashion which would cause me to be there at tailgate. I'm driving in my kilt, which is fine if you're stopping and getting gas. Less fine if you're walking the streets of Portland at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Actually, if there's a place you're gonna do it that's not Ireland or Scotland,
right? I might have been able to get away with it, but considering the neck of the woods I was in, as the story will continue, you'll find out why that might not have worked out so well. So I go to the Safeway to go pee, and I do that a couple times, and I just kind of stand there for a couple hours because what else am I gonna do, right? Like, I'm kind of texting you. I'm like, hey, I'm pretty sure it's the alternator, and you're like, it might be the battery. And I'm like, well, it would have to be 2 bad batteries, because I've got 2 batteries in this bitch.
Oh,
the old double battery.
I don't think I saw the 2 part. Maybe you said it, but
I may have said it, but you may not have seen it.
Yeah, I think I was driving by then.
Right. I've got a battery and a battery for the battery in this thing, which is what made the next part of the story possible. So after peeing, I walk down there and I'm like, all I really need is a miracle. And I just need this thing to fucking turn over. And so I fire it up, and I can tell that it's like it got going, but it wasn't going. You know, like it wasn't, the alternator wasn't alternating.
Right.
And so I limp it into the nearest parking lot I can find, and I park. And so I text you guys, I'm like, I got it fired up. And then, like, I got all excited about that, and I was like, oh no, that's bad. So I parked it, and I look over, and I'm parked in the 24-hour personal massage and private dancing club, the G Spot.
Might as well. The clouds parted, and the Lord said, "Let there be light."
Well, also, we had just
shined out of a butt plug.
We had just spent all of our money at Disneyland, the happiest place on earth. So I wasn't about to go see the happiest place on earth again.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't in, or and I was considering. Yeah, I was also place? Like, Where is it? Right off the Multnomah Boulevard exit there.
What's it called
South
again?
Directions.
I just want to look it up.
It's called the G
You're never
spot.
gonna find it. It's the G spot.
It's the G spot. It's hard to find.
He looks up. He's like, hold up. Hey.
So
I'll have
maybe
you know,
at Dave's Bear Farm you might.
I've got a map.
So Ben comes through and saves the day. He's got AAA.
Clip notes on his fucking wrist.
And
I call them Clit notes.
That might be the name of the episode.
That was really funny. That was really
I'm writing it down.
So Ben comes through and we're sitting there and the guy's not going to get there till like 10:30. And we both kind of have the same thought at the same time, like, man, it would be a lot cooler if we were stoned. But so we're like, it's like 8:30 in the morning, and we're like, wait a minute, that's appropriate time for these places to be open. There's got to be one nearby, and there just happened to be one just up the road. So hey, what do you know? We got that all sorted, and so we're on the road. We're ready to go. Guy shows up to pick up the Suburban to take it to where it's getting taken care of. And we hit the road, I-5. We let the boys know we are rolling. We are 2.5 hours away. We should be there about noon. Like we'll get a solid hour and a half to 2 hours of tailgating in. Life will be good. I got time to change into my kilt, whatever. It rained so heavily, and keep in mind this is also like when you ever have those moments where you feel like the universe is just like taking it out on you.
Mm-hmm. Usually when my car is broken down.
Yeah, car's broken down. As I start walking to Safeway, the rain begins. And that's when when I'm not going to speak for anyone else, like, I'll start feeling sorry for myself in those sorts of situations. I'm like, man, my car is broke down. All I want to do is go to the Duck game. And now it's fucking raining. And I gotta pee.
No money for the G spot.
I can't afford to go to the G spot. The bar next door is closed. Can't go buy. I don't have any weed. The coffee's cold. I can't charge my phone. The heater's dead. Fuck this shit, man. You know.
Yeah.
Just general spiral shit.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty standard spiral there. Yeah.
Pretty standard spirally shit for me.
It hit all of the rubric keys.
But it's always Cal. Have you noticed that? It's always Cal.
I talked about it at the game.
Like
I don't know about it a little bit.
I don't know why, but ever since I covered Cal, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the curse of Jake. Ever since I covered the University of California, and California is the first game that we met at. Maybe that's the impetus. Maybe that's the break in the timeline.
Hold up. We just had our Nexus event.
Our Nexus event, because the first game we met at was Oregon versus California. And so it stands to reason that chaos always reigns when California comes to visit Oregon because of it.
Chaos.
The Cal chaos. Like this actually might be worth the Cal.
I know my calculus. You remember that song? I know my calculus.
Nope.
You don't remember that from that? It was a MTV fake boy band. What was it called?
Me Plus You or something like that.
Yeah, that was another song they had.
Oh
Me
yeah,
that is the song. Me plus you equals us.
I just remember my calculus.
What was the name of the band?
Girl,
it was like
need a shot
Together or something, or Together. It was something weird. Anyway, I'll look it up.
I almost said O-Town, but then I remember that was actually
that was an actual
real
band.
one.
Yeah.
So we get through. It's rained so heavily that the left-hand lane of southbound I-5 north of Salem was underwater.
Oh, sorry, Jake. Liquid Dreams? Was that the name of the fake boy band, Liquid Dreams?
No, that was an O-Town song.
Oh, okay, sorry. It just popped into my head.
Liquid Dream. No, I was hoping that there wasn't liquid on the freeway. That would have made it a lot easier to get there. But they had to bottleneck it down to one lane from three. You know the spot. It was right where the road goes.
In Salem. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right before. So right there is where it happened. Yep. And so that 3-lane became 1 lane, and it was a parking lot. So, like, I'm just watching the time, and I'm texting Robin, like, yeah, we should be there about noon. I'm like, we should be there about 12:30.
Yeah.
All right, we should be there about kickoff.
We'll be there.
So, we'll be there. And so I'm telling Ben, like, look, man, I don't want to set any expectations. If we don't get to Lebanon by like 2:00, I don't want to try to sneak in when there aren't people there at the front door.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to it.
So you have a whole story about that too. So we get there, and as we're pulling into Eugene, I'm like, I start praying to the football gods. I was just like, come on, baby, be good to me. Give me a parking spot. Give me a parking spot on the O-Bar Street. Come on, baby. Be good to me. Be good to me. I'm like counting the cars driving ahead of me, and they're like I got 8 cars ahead of me. There's got to be at least 3 spots. If it's 8 for 3, I've got a 37.5% chance of this happening. Like this car peels off. I'm like, okay, it's 7. Now it's a 14 times 3. And now it's a 42.3% chance this car peels off. I'm like, and like this math is just, I'm fucking like Zach Galifianakis in the Hangover, like doing the
Not
percentages.
At the table, Carlos.
Yeah. Suddenly, I'm the only person going down the O-Bar, and there's a spot. And so I take Ben's car, and I 4.5 point turn it, and I park it, and we stick our pockets full of hard Mountain Dews. One of them I tried to open, and I broke the top, like I broke the thing off of it. Yeah, so we had to stab it in the seats later to get it to open. But yeah, so then we got there, like we come walking up, we go to the east gate, and it's just it's like zone blocking scheme. They handed us the ball, and we just went through the hole, and we score a touchdown, and we get there, and soon it'll be one of your guys' turn to talk. and I go to walk down the tunnel as you do, and CMS, I'm sorry, you have to go around. I'm like, so I have to go around. Got it. Okay. So I go around to the next CMS. I'm sorry, I can't let you through. I'm like, well, section 21, row 1, that like this is how I go. Like this is how to get there.
You got to remember the 1W. It's 1W.
Like yeah,
but anyway.
I'm like it's accessible seating. Like there's no other way to get there. And she's like, well, I can't let you through. I'm like, well, I'm going to go ask this cop over here what he thinks. And so I grab the police officer. I'm like, hey, man, can you come here? I need you to like be like a reasonable adult in the situation is all I'm asking. He's like, okay, I can do that. I'm like, we'll see. So we get there, and I tell him, I'm like, look, man, like it's it's section 21, row 1, and again, the 1W would have been helpful. And he says, now I may be mistaken, but you can get to section 21 from the top. I'm like, you are mistaken. You can get to section 21 from the top, but you can't get to the ADA section from the top. And he's like, and it seemed to like almost make sense in his head.
Yeah.
But I said, look, this is the only way to get to these seats. And I looked at the lady. I'm like, I'm going to go down. There's an entrance. I'm pointing at the entrance. There's a bathroom right there. I'm going down that way. She's like, well, I can't promise that they won't tell you not to go. And if they do, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
I turned to the cop. I'm like, are you fine? Like, and I'm literally asking, like,
right.
If I go, are you going to fuck me up? Like, and he's like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right, I'm gone. And later, and we just walk down and walk right in, which is why as we exited, I was like, hey, we got to our seats, by the way.
Yeah.
Ho bag. So yeah, we get there, bag. and your dad hands us all of Dave's beer, and Dave sits down like Dave acting time. Dave sits down and he goes,
you better be watching on YouTube here.
I'm drunk.
Oh,
like, no shit, Dave.
That was an understatement.
Yes, it was.
So
yeah,
that's me getting to tailgate this week.
Wow. All right. Well, my version starts at 5:30.
Wait, let me go first. It's quicker.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the phone with my little brother for like 30 minutes, and I don't remember what we talked about. Your turn.
I could tell you.
I'm pretty sure I got like emotional in a weird.
You did,
Yeah,
and you were like, "I want Billy to come to games," and
Yeah.
he's like, "I got kids," and I go, "I got a kid," and she comes to the games, and you're like, "Yeah, he's got a kid." You were like yelling.
Dave's all mad because my little brother's coming to games now, and he wants his little brother to come to games.
Mm-hmm.
And Bailey is a little brother too, but now he's just squad.
No,
so
he's just in.
Mhm.
He's in. All right. 5:34 a.m.
dun dun. Meanwhile, me
Dun,
sitting
dun.
alongside the
My
freeway
phone
in Portland.
goes.
Ba-dink!
It goes. Zzz. I'm like, the fuck is that? Like halfway. Yeah, I think Jake said something about his
Suburban
car.
died.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, I can't. I got 24 more minutes or 26 more minutes of sleep. I'm gonna close my eyes. I closed my eyes and I was like, all right, I'm awake. Fuck. So anyway, get up, shower, get ready to go. This was the week you were on time, right, Dave?
No, I think this was the first
Or
week.
was this the one you were asleep?
This is the first game that I slept in.
Okay.
Season.
Oh yeah. So okay, I'm loading
Mhm.
everything up, getting ready to go, and I'm like ready to go 20 minutes early. I said we're leaving at 7. I told Dave the day before.
Mhm.
7 or 6:58 comes along. I look at my phone and I'm like, I don't have a text from Dave. I'm calling him. He's not here. He's usually here at least a couple minutes early. Ring, ring, nothing. Why did it ring twice? I'm calling again. And he answers, my phone didn't make any noise. And I was like, no shit. You're like, I'll be there in 20 minutes. And I was like,
the panic first words
Dave,
out of my
20
mouth
minutes.
when I wake up and I'm like, what time is it? Yup.
Yep. So my dad's walking down the steps as I'm like, all right. My dad gets down the bottom of the stairs. I'm like, you may as well go back in there and watch some game day for a little bit because Dave just woke up. He's like,
son of a bitch.
Damn it, Dave.
Hey, I will say this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Took me to this long of the season to do it.
Right? I mean,
Like,
I did it last week.
I mean, I honestly have been doing pretty good, like waking up and being like, okay, cool, it's 6 o'clock. I'm just going to get up.
Yeah.
So
do you want to explain what happened with your phone?
Oh yeah. So I had set a couple alarms, and the early one went off, and I was like, I don't want to wake up. So I turned it off, and I knocked over my earbuds, and they opened up. Earbuds fell out, so they connected to my phone.
Oh.
So the second alarm that would have maybe been like, all right, time to get up, was going off in my earbud while I was sleeping. Because like when I got up and I went to grab everything, I always bring my earbuds with me.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's my earbuds? And I look down, they're on the floor, and they're just there. I'm like,
God damn it,
bitches! I'm like, you go on the other table at night from now on.
So 30 minutes later, Dave gets there. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Because I was out there waiting, I think. And,
yeah, you were.
And I'm like, we're not stopping anywhere. I'm glad I got everything packed up and got gas ahead of time. Like, I'm not stopping at all.
Yeah, Robin was like, you got everything? And I just said, I got what I got. I was like, we're not stopping. I got what I got.
Fair enough. All right, let's go. And we got hit with the fucking monsoon.
Yeah, dude, it was really bad.
We're all Pacific Northwest guys. Like we know how to drive in the rain. This was the kind I slowed down. I was like, this is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like we got to drain and it was not draining. It was just fucking water on the road and on our windshield.
No draining, just raining.
Dude, it was it fucking sucked. But we still made up 15 minutes and got there. We were like
common theme.
10, 15 minutes. 10, 15 minutes late, got parked. Nobody was there.
Yep.
Nobody. And I'm like, Bitch, what the fuck?
Where the fuck is everybody?
All right, well, let's set shit up in the fucking pouring ass rain. And we get everything set up, and then it stops raining, and which is pretty standard. And we're like, well, it's a butt beer party. We're starting drinking, and we start drinking our fucking liquor, and the neighbors, our tailgate neighbors, showed up at some point, not too long after that. And they're like, "Oh, we got drinks for you." And I was like, "Oh, do you? Because I'm drinking." All of it. We drank from 8:45 until at least halftime. Like, I got hammered, but hammered relatively sober. Like, I was pretty fucking buzzed. We also had helped set up the neighbor's tailgate, and so
I think we helped set up like three different.
We set up 3 different tailgates. Yeah, because we're just like, what are we doing? Let's do this. Because we got it's just me and Dave hanging out. But Tammy was there, the lady that works or native from Lincoln City area. She's had her mom or grandma, I don't remember which one she is. She was there, and so we're like, well, we'll set your stuff up. And then when it came time to go, like, we started getting ready to go at the time we normally get ready to go, and we got to take their tailgate down. And then we took ours down. And we're like...
So that's what took so long with... That's why I was like, I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm too fucking drunk to taste this chicken.
And, there was chicken?
No. God damn it. But I did cook, like, we made breakfast bonanza. Ate a shit ton of that. Like, what else did we have? I don't remember. We had hot dogs and burgers.
Sausages,
and, yeah. Oh, brats. Yeah.
Like, I was surprised. Like, I got so drunk, but I actually ate this game.
We ate,
and I was like, how am I? Like, I am really like wasted right now, and I ate a lot of food that game.
Yeah, exactly. We drank though so much at our tailgate, we didn't even go to Jed's. We're just like, well, we should probably not leave. So by the time we get ready to go into the game, like you said, nobody wants to try to sneak in when there's nobody there. Well, Dave didn't have a ticket. And so we're like going in, and I think the first line we went into, I think they spotted Dave's fanny pack.
No, the first one was the because I was wearing those black joggers that are kind of tighter.
Yeah.
He saw the drink in my back pocket.
That's what it was.
And then oh no, you're right. First one was the fanny pack because I couldn't get my sweater pulled over because it was so full.
Yeah.
And then the second one is they saw the drink in my back pocket, and I was like, oh, here, just throw this away or whatever. I didn't remember.
No, it was your knife. You said something about your knife. And they're like, yeah, you can't take that in. And I grabbed it from your hand, and I went, whoop, and pretended to throw it. And I'm like, it's gone. And we walked in.
Okay, I remember that.
And then I'm like, here's your knife.
All right, so I want to interject real quick.
Yeah.
So I have taken every California at Oregon game, and I've listed what has happened since 2009.
What happened?
What happened? So 2009 we meet. We become friends.
Yes.
2011 Cal visits. The worst thing that happened was the Michael James elbow.
I have it on video.
So, but that was the worst thing that happened. 2013.
We sat in the visitor section. 2013 was the monsoon.
I worked for Cal that one, and that was weird. And so that was the weirdest thing that happened, was not really being part of what I normally get to do at that time.
Yeah.
2015 we'll just call the Heather game.
Oh yeah, I remember that too.
We'll just call it the Heather game. 2017, I had just moved and could not get any time off working at Amazon. So I missed it. 2019, I lost my wallet.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and Chase Maxwell had to front me some cashola to help me survive, because whenever I had a problem, there was a Maxwell to help me.
Right.
And in 21, the game was on a fucking Friday.
And you couldn't.
And I couldn't come down
Yeah.
on a Friday. So yeah, every year since 2009, there's been at least some sort of drama against California.
That's wild. So anyway, Dave, like, so to get into the game, we're like at the ticket thing, and I'm like pretending I don't know how to use my phone, and I'm like,
Right.
I just do the thing, and then finally I was like, dude, you scanned my ticket. I don't know why you can't scan his, but I'm just going in.
Yeah.
And the guy, it was a German dude, and I was like, yeah, we're just going.
Yeah.
Just go.
Just stop us.
Because I was like, what do you mean you can't scan it?
Wait. What do you mean it was? What do you mean it's dead?
What do you mean?
But yeah, that threw me off because I was just like, wait, what? Why are you like? I said he scanned it.
Yeah.
If he scanned it, you can't scan it again.
Right. And
You
he
can't.
was like, I didn't scan that one. And I scanned this one. And
you can't double scan a single scan.
Exactly. So anyway, we get up there and we show up and there's Jake and Ben.
Happy as clams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No Bales. Oh yeah, that was another thing. So I text Bales. I'm like, where you at? And he's like, I got no ride. I got my Lamborghinis. And I was like, so walk. He's like, nah, Jake was my ride. And I was like, dude, I'll walk halfway and meet you. Let's go. Like I got nothing on my hand but time. Let's do this. And he's
that would have been a fucking walk.
And I was like, stop being a bitch and fucking go. And he just nothing. I was like, all right, fine. Fuck you. I was pissed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the short version of what went on. Dave played security guard for our tailgate friends, the grandma that was there.
Oh yeah, I did. I
remember that?
Like I caught myself doing it. I'm like, what? I'm just hanging out.
Like he's like boxing people out and shit.
Yeah, I did. Well, because like a couple of people had bumped into her, and I was like, yo,
like
this is an 80-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Like so, I shoulder checked a couple dudes that looked at me funny, and then I looked at her, and they're like, oh, like yeah, fucking carry on. I do remember Tammy kind of offered to talk to some people about an internship for me this summer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Because you're like, hey, fuck that up real quick.
Because we were just bullshitting. We're like, I was like, do you have any like
well, I brought up the Indian lumber affairs.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about that, and then you brought up teaching stuff, I think.
I was like, hey, you got any like remote PE jobs? And she's like, oh yeah, we got that. And I'm like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, they pay pretty well too. You might have to come up here like once or twice. And I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I'll give you my card. But she was also drinking with us.
Yeah.
So she did not remember.
Yeah, it was like a guy who's like, hey, let me get your phone number when we were getting Philly cheesesteaks, and I think he misunderstood me when he told me that I worked in the press corps at the University of Oregon, and he thought he meant I worked for the University of Oregon.
Mm.
And he's like, hey, blah 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 blah, and I was like, nah, dude, like I don't think I'm who you think I am.
Oh, anyway, that was a fucking shit show of a game. It poured on us so much. I changed my socks in the first like 20-30 minutes because my feet were soaked. And shoes, because the shoes I was wearing my green, the dark green.
Pegasus?
No, what are they? I don't know. I'll figure out a way to show you later. But I was wearing those, and it was just they're so thin.
They're like a mesh tops.
Almost.
Oh, gotcha.
But and then my jacket, I changed out of that. But then like once the game was going on, I just wore my jersey on top of my hoodie and it got wet, but it wasn't
sprinkled a couple times, yeah.
Yeah,
that's about it.
No.
I was teaching Ben the versatility of the jersey over hoodie, because the hoodie or the jersey absorbs most of the water and the hoodie stays dry.
Yeah. It's a pretty good combo. We've been doing that for years.
Been doing it for years. Yeah, I've been not being cold with one hoodie and a jersey for years.
Because you also usually have a t-shirt underneath the hoodie, so you're like, that's 3 layers.
And then I've got an undershirt under the t-shirt.
It's perfect. It's
I'm sweaty underneath my.
I mean, this rain wasn't bad because it was still like 55 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just
shorts.
really, really slippery wet.
Very slippery.
When wet.
Let's see. So I told that Dave got wasted is in my notes. Dave got wasted, the knife story, which it still makes me laugh because I did the fake throw for the dog, and I was like, I got rid of it.
Right.
And he was just like,
oh, okay.
He was confused like a dog.
He looked at me and looked at Dave, and I just turned around and left him. I was like, what are you going to do? Nothing.
Yeah, it's like when we walk right through security, and both Ben and I have 316. Like, that was the other thing. We're standing there talking to the police as we're both holding liquor that we should not have.
Drinks,
like multiple drinks. Like, hey man, we're just trying to get to our seats that we don't have tickets for right now. Like,
yeah, that's the thing that got me, is like, nobody asked to see your ticket.
No, nobody has to see anything. And if they did, I'd say, yeah, the guy who's down there has it already. Like, we came up here to grab,
I think when we went in, I said something like, I assure you my seats are down here, and just kept going.
Yeah, I assure you I know what I'm doing.
It's good times.
Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, now we get to line up and do it all again here in a couple days.
I'm ready. I
think the gal that was up there at the top of the ramp.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I said something about season tickets. And I mentioned, hey, I haven't seen you all year.
Yeah.
Because this is where we sit.
Yeah.
All year.
I said something about we've sat at those seats since like 2006 or something. Like, maybe stretch the truth.
Like, the only thing that I can give them the benefit of the doubt on is it was like 8 minutes till kickoff. Yeah. And so if they had a rule, like, if she had said you can't come down here until the team comes through, I would have said okay.
Right.
But she said, no, you can't come through here without a reason. And so I'm going to challenge your bullshit authority on that.
Well, they never tell those people those kids at the top of the ramp, they never tell them that
they never have an idea. No, they have no idea.
They
just know nobody goes that way.
Every game this year.
Yeah, and I walked her and I was like, do you want to come with me and I will show you where I'm going so you can, like, be sure? She's like, I can't leave here. I'm like,
perfect.
Perfect. He gone.
Just take off one. You can't leave your post? Cool. See ya. My fat man running very slowly, but as fast as he can.
Jake, are you ready for your tight five?
I think I am.
I'm ready for it. Yours.
I'm going first. First.
You know what I should have done? I should have written the criteria, and then I could score them.
You should have written it down.
I wrote something down.
All right. Hey, all right. Are we ready? Are we doing this?
Born ready.
All right. Well, I'm doing all right now. Last week I wasn't so good. I'm kidding. That's not how I'm starting this thing.
I mean, I was okay with it.
Wait, that sounds like the beginning. This isn't how I'm starting it.
Right. That's how they all do it.
I'm not falling
for it. Can we keep it quiet, please? I'm the artist is working here. Hey, I have a microphone. Wait, isn't that what we say? I have a microphone. I can be louder than each and every one of you.
We all have microphones.
Shut the fuck up, Dave.
I'm just giving you the heckler experience.
I know. I'm doing crowd work.
Hey, bada bing.
Bada bing. Speaking of crowd work, so I learned something about being married, and it's that terminology changes. Is that they say the spark leaves, and the spark doesn't leave. The spark just changes definitions, and you don't Netflix and chill anymore. You don't get that text message that say, hey, do you want to Netflix and chill? Now it's, hey, do you want to snuggle and watch something? And you better know, do you snuggle and watch something means like we're not actually going to watch something. But therein lies a problem, right? Because you also want to watch the new Kitchen Nightmares. And I'll tell you, Gordon Ramsay is not a great critique for your sex, because you'll be sitting there and he'll be like, "It's fucking raw." I'm like, "I know, Gordon." Anyway, so we're also, they start describing the smells of things, and you're between things, and you don't want to be thinking about those things while you're doing other things. And I don't want to get too descriptive, but the name of the show is The Aristocrats. So we have to turn that off and just go to the Doing It playlist on Spotify, and everything's fine. Yeah. So that being said, I'm married. I have a family. We went to Disneyland. That was a lot of fun. First time for me going to Disneyland. Never went. Never been as a child, so I got to go as an adult, which is fun in its own regard, because you get to break the rules and you get to teach people how to break the rules. But what's more important is you spend a lot of time in lines. And so the thing about Disneyland is they give you stuff to look at, stuff to think about. They give you air conditioning so you don't die of heat stroke. And the thing that I kept thinking about, especially when I was in Marvel Land, is who spends all the time doing these superhero fonts? Like the Web College series is in this special font. Do you think that, like, after he got done fighting the Green Goblin, Peter Parker landed at Stark Tower, and they're like, "Hey, Mr. Parker, would you like to see the concept sketches for the Web series college fonts?" They're like, "Yep, that's the one." Like, there's got to be a research and development team at Stark Industries that does nothing but figure out fonts and logos for the Avengers. Anyway, being there. Anyway, folks, that one wasn't that great. Standing outside there in Star Wars Land was pretty fun. But people always try to joust with you, especially when they work for Disney. They think they've got the home field advantage. So they think that they've got the upper hand in every repartee that they get into, but they didn't know that I was there that day.
Mm-hmm.
And so this guy's just being a smart ass, doing what he does, and he makes some comment about droids. And me being a smart ass say, "Hey man, I identify as a droid." And so because I wanted to see how he'd handle it. And he says, "Well, that's that's interesting. That I haven't heard that. Things must be much softer where you come from." And I'm sitting there, I'm having a sip of my Starbucks, and I'm like, "You don't know where the fuck I come from." So I'm sitting there, and I'm taking another sip, and I'm like, "Man, there's nothing warm or nothing soft about a mechanical heart." Like he like wanted to say, he actually took a moment, and he's like, "Oh my goodness. Like, I'll give you that one." It's like, hop in the front of this line. Just so happened the front of this line was like Rise of the Resistance, best ride of the show, the whole park, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you get on this transport, and you're up in space. Tractor beam pulls you on the First Order ship. Boom! All of a sudden the door opens, and First Order lady walks on behind. All of a sudden, holy crap! There's someone in a uniform standing directly behind me, and also, I don't want to get too intimate, but scratched an itch or two. And it's about that time my wife said, "I have never seen you snap to attention so quickly." And I told her, or snap to attention to pretend authority so quickly. I said, "Well, there's two things to think about here. One, you forget I used to do Civil War reenacting. And two, that should tell you how I feel about the police compared to the Empire. Thank you very much."
I like it. That was good.
I came in at 4 minutes. That wasn't not too bad.
That was pretty good, man. It was
Whew. I was
not bad. Yeah.
4:30 actually, because I just hit 50. Mm-hmm. That was all right. I actually feel a lot better about that on the back side of it than I did on the front side of it.
That's fair. It's like public speaking. Even though we talk to each other all the time, how often do we like write something out or
that's the first
together?
time I've performed something for you guys ever.
Right.
Like outside of the Christian the super fan.
Hello,
let's go the Ducks.
When you talked about the Avengers fonts, I was like, I was actually thinking about it. I was like, you're right. Like
I did the Carlin thing there. I realized I fucked up with that. I was like, I needed something punchier at the end of that because I just said something that was like that made people think instead of making people laugh. I was like, fuck, I fucked up.
Yeah.
So, all right, gentlemen, who's up here?
Well, Dave didn't write anything down, so.
Well, anyways, I was finger blasting this fat chick, and her mom walks in.
I said,
those are my mashed potatoes.
That's a true story.
And then we stole the radio out of the car before they could repossess it.
Right? Have you guys ever like really thought about what growing up is? Like, you go to school and it's just like there's a bus, you get on it, you go do your thing, and then you come home. And that's it every day. 12 years of doing that. Why is it that it seems like girls, like, they never want to do PE? They show up there, like, they'll run around on recess when they're little, but then PE comes, well, I can't do that. I'm on my period. And then they get out of school, and then they want to be on TikTok, showing their workouts, but they have no idea what they're doing. Ever. It's just, I'm like, bitch, you couldn't fucking run the mile, but now you're gonna fucking tell me how to do a fucking pull-up? Get the fuck out of here. That was the only thing I wrote down. Oh no, I did write something else down. The first thing I wrote down was like, Jesus. That's all it says, Jesus, exclamation point. And then I was watching a commercial the other day for a movie, and it was this religious movie. I can't remember what it was called, like
Jesus.
No, it was something else. It was something stupid, like the ride to Bethlehem or something. I don't know, like Regulators or something.
It's the Sound of Freedom.
It's something about Bethlehem. But anyway, they get to the part where they're like, well, what will you name the child? And she says Jesus, and I started thinking, I was like, the gall of the Hispanic people to just be like, you know what? I'm gonna name my kid Jesus. We're gonna call him Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that's too much. All right, Jesus then. Was it good enough? Mm-hmm. What about Angel? Can I use Angel? Is that a good one? Can I use Angel? My kid's a little angel. Yeah, well, Angel's got a fucking rap sheet 6 pages long.
3 baby daddies.
Wait. Angel's actually a dude in this case, but hey, whatever. That's the other thing, is they're like, Angel, it can be anybody. It's like the Robin of the names. Anybody can have it. Nobody wants it. All right, that was all I wrote down, but I thought I would give you guys a preview of my annual comedy known as the Grievance List.
Already? We are early.
A preview. No, I started like when I think of things from the start of the year. Lady in front of a team. Oh, here's one. Lady in front of a team name. Like the Lady Wolves.
Yep. Lady Cox.
Yeah, like at least the Ducks are just like, here come the Ducks. But they will do like the women Ducks or Ducks women's team,
Lady
blah,
Ducks.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
But they don't usually do like the lady. Why the fuck do they have to do that? Just be
they
the
usually
fucking...
do it in high school, and it's really dumb. It's like,
it
here are the
pisses
Lady
me off.
Warriors.
I was just going to say the Lady Warriors because I was thinking of North Douglas. Or the Lady Irish. Bitch, have you seen these chicks talk? Not one of them is a fucking lady.
Yeah, not one of them is Irish.
Hey-o.
The Lady Panthers.
I cannot stand how TikTok has convinced people. That's a funny one.
I love Lady Beavers. They're
TikTok
tastier than man
has
beavers.
convinced people they can't say kill or died. Like they
Or
have to say
abuse.
unalive or unaliving or like
Shit's dumb.
They've got acronyms for things like sexual assault. They'll just say SA or they'll say grape instead of rape. And I'm like, just fucking say it. If you get censored, you get censored. Fuck China. Here's one that I dislike. Shout outs, insert name. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to so-and-so. Like, you can just say, hey, I want to say thanks. I know, right? You did. You can just say thanks. Thanks to Ben.
I know.
I get it. It's the phrase, but the phrase bugs me. What did I? Let's see what I actually wrote. It says
Christina with a K.
It says shout out insert name. They just say a name, not shout out to shout out guy. Maybe there's a comment.
Shout out guy.
Maybe there's a comment there, but I don't like it.
Shout out guy.
Summer swamp ass. Toilet seat edition.
Oh God.
When you're on the throne, but it's so hot and you're sweaty from being 1,000,000,000 degrees outside, and you sit down and you're sliding around, you're like, like a fucking slip and slide. It's almost as bad as
on the toilet.
It's almost as bad as getting out of the shower when you have to do like emergency dump. I don't know if you're just dropping the deuce there, but man, you are never more scared for your asshole and your life than when that happens.
That made me think of one of I started a list, and one of them is warm public restroom toilet seats.
Oh, I just say warm toilet seats in general.
Yeah,
not a fan.
If I'm in the house with like family or something like that, at least I'm like, that was somebody like
that was someone I know's ass.
Yeah,
but
it's still gross, but it's not as, for me, it's not as gross with stranger warm toilet seat.
Yeah, like if I sit down on the toilet after Gemma's on, I'm like, well, at least it's my wife's ass. Like,
if you sit down on the toilet seat, do your dick and balls always go into the bowl, or do they sit on the toilet
outside
seat? Yeah,
no, I go
and then go in.
See, I need to go in the bowl because I generally pee while I poop. It's just,
I'm not saying while you're doing your business. I'm saying like when you sit, then do you sit and then adjust, or do you adjust first and then like?
I kind of do a little weeble wobble on my way down.
Because have you ever thought about that before?
Nope.
How many guys' balls have been on that toilet seat in that same spot?
Well, I am what you would call a grower, not a shower, so I really don't have that issue. Like, unless it's the morning and I immediately have to take a dump, then I have to do the old tuck and hold it. And...
What's worse, the tuck and hold or the 45-degree body bend?
I kind of appreciate the body bend.
Yeah, I do the body bend.
I'm like, I feel like a fucking scientist over here. I'm like, science. I'm like, I'm aimed up here, and I'm like,
geometries and stuff.
And somehow it's aimed right at the toilet.
The flight pattern of my urine creates a S curve on the downward arc. 45 degrees
pee left, it will go right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's my time. Thank you.
All right, Dave. You wrote one thing down. Let's hear what you got.
No, I didn't know what I read it, and I was like, I have no idea what I was talking about, and it didn't make any sense.
Oh, well, that's not very funny.
There was a lot of misspelled words. There was an and in there that had 3 A's, 1 N, an H, and 3 D's. I'm thinking it was supposed to be and, but I'm not sure.
My favorite part is I watched you type some of that, and I was standing over your shoulder, and I was like, what? And then I just moved on because I was also drunk. And I was like,
what?
All right, cool.
I'm pretty sure you said something too. You said, "What are you doing?" I says, "I'm writing my type 5."
I did.
I'm writing my type 5.
And I was like, "In what language?"
Like Filipino.
Yeah, that was a fun game, but it was
It was fun. We drank a lot.
Yeah. What happened too, because it was cooler, it wasn't as muggy as the week before.
Right.
Because we drank a lot that game too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
See, we're coming in. What time does tailgate start? 1 o'clock? 1:30?
Yeah, 1:30.
All right. I'll be there 1:30.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can. I just got the job and I hate doing this, but I'm gonna see if I can leave early if it's slow.
Yeah, it's a gun shop.
Yeah.
They'll understand.
Which is, dude, this is the coolest
just say,
job.
We're in a national title chase, baby.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta say.
I did talk to him about it, and I was like, because he had me scheduled for Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's a retail thing, so it's kind of yes. But I was just like, oh hey, I forgot. Like, I got tickets to the last Civil War. Can you figure out a way to get me off the schedule? I was like, I bought these tickets at the beginning of the season. Like, I'm going.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like I didn't
PTO
want to.
means prepare the others.
I didn't want to push it. Again, new job, so I didn't want to be like, hey, I'm taking these 2 days that you scheduled me. I'm not coming in. You know what I mean?
Dave, you should have me as a boss.
Well, yeah, that would make game day really easy. Mm-hmm.
What we need to do is come up with a company that we can all just work at, and then nobody works on game days.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, these people,
hey,
they could have been anywhere in the world. They're here with us. We appreciate that. Make sure you're checking out all the tasty flavors over on
so
YouTube.
Much tasty over there.
Hey. But for this episode, this edition of my show, good night, universe.
That's a podcast.
Good Ducks.
Good Ducks.
Make sure to go and check out definitelynotsellingdrugs.com.